Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you just after a very, very disappointing defeat for Arsenal at Aston Villa, going down 1-0 at Villa Park. As you can see, obviously I'm not at the game today, had to cover it from home, so I've been sitting here just like you guys watching it on the TV, and yeah, very unfortunate. Well, not unfortunate, Arsenal deserving pretty much what they got really. It was just a poor performance all round. I think the game against Wolves, they obviously offered a lot to be positive about despite the defeat, and you kind of had the manner of defeat as well, which made up for it. But today it was kind of like Arsenal in 2020 rather than the team we've been seeing in 2021. I mean, a dreadful start. You can't get off to a start like that in the Premier League and expect to get much from a game. Going 1-0 down inside 2 minutes. Horrible error by Cedric Suarez. Felt for Matt Ryan, who on his debut conceded a goal without even having a single touch in his whole Arsenal career. His first touch of the ball in an Arsenal shirt was picking the ball out of the net, and that's not ideal for any goalkeeper. And he went on to have a decent game, actually, Matt Ryan, which I'll get to when I do my player ratings at the end of this video. But yeah, it was just a dreadful start, and they just never really looked like recovering from it. It was very much, like I said, Arsenal of 2020, had a lot of the ball, huffed and puffed, but it was all pretty sideways. Passing, especially in the first half, didn't really do much in the first half at all. Granit Xhaka had one free kick that Emi Martinez saved well. They can have a few complaints potentially about refereeing decisions again. Perhaps Villa should have gone down for 10 men when Saka got pulled down in the first half. I can understand why it wasn't given how far away he was from the area, but I think there's no doubt that it was a goal-scoring opportunity because Saka would have got in on goal. There was no catching him once he'd knocked the ball past the Villa man. So I can understand why Mikel Arteta is going to be it's going to be annoyed about that, and I'm still waiting to speak to him. The press conference hasn't happened yet, but judging by what he was like on the pitch at full-time whistle, he's not too happy about some of the refereeing decisions, so they can understandably feel a little bit hard done by that. And in the second half, I thought they should have had a penalty when Martinez pulled down Lacazette as they were waiting for a corner. The actual foul went the other way, and Martinez got the foul. And when you actually look at it, I mean, Lacazette does nothing wrong. He gets pulled over by Martinez. So I think that they were unlucky there. But I don't want to just be sitting here talking about refereeing decisions again, because I think we've got to focus on the performance a lot as well. And that performance today wasn't good enough. They had lots of the ball. I think second half they had 70% of possession. Then they did do better in the second half. I'm looking at the stats here. They had 9 shots in the second half, same as Villa. But they didn't really test Martinez. I mean, Matt Ryan had far more saves to make than Emi Martinez did. I mean, Villa had 8 shots on target. 12 of their 8 shots were on target. 8 of their 12 shots were on target, Villa, but just 3 of Arsenal's 14 shots were on target. So it was a pretty comfortable or afternoon's work for Martinez. I remember the save from Xhaka's free kick, the deflected Pepe shot. I can't even remember what the other save he had to make was, Martinez. So it was a quite comfortable afternoon's work for him. I think that's the disappointment, considering Arsenal had so much of the ball. And by the end of the pitch, they had Aubameyang, Pepe, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Saka, Willian all on the pitch. So he really went for it, Mikel Arteta. But it just didn't really result in anything. They got themselves into some good opportunities, but their final ball was lacking. I think Villa got a little bit of slice of luck. A lot of things went their way, a lot of bounces, which could have bounced an Arsenal way, ended up bouncing a Villa way, and they got a bit of a slice of luck from them. But I think they probably, at the end of the day, they deserved their win, Villa. And had Matt Ryan not made some really sharp saves, he made a couple from Ollie Watkins, he made one from Jack Grealish. Villa could have won this one by more. So although I'm expecting Mikel, when I hear from him, to maybe have a few complaints in terms of refereeing decisions, I think when he looks at it, it was more a case of his side underperforming today than anything else. It's only 1 point from 9 from Arsenal now, so all that momentum that had been built up has kind of been sucked away during the last week. I thought the draw against United was okay, it's fair enough result against a very good United side, but then these were 2 games they really could have won against Wolves and Villa, and although they had justifiable reasons to feel frustrated after the defeat at Wolves, today they just weren't really good enough in terms of their performance, and I think that's a disappointing outcome of today's game. And Arsenal now, I think they're 10th in the Premier League. They could have gone 2 points off 6th with a win today, but instead they're 10th, and now they could end the weekend 9 points off 6th. And I think that's why you're going to look at this week as a really costly week for Arsenal. These two 6 these 2 games where they've dropped basically 6 points against Wolves and Aston Villa. Had they won these games, which they quite easily could have done, the league table would have been looking very, very nice indeed right now. But instead, again, Arsenal find themselves bogged down in a bit of a mid-table battle rather than a European fight. And so that is a worry for Mikel, especially with 3 games coming up now against Leeds, Manchester City and Leicester, which is going to be very, very tough indeed. Right, I'll go through my player ratings now for you. Obviously not going to be too many high ratings in this one, I'm afraid, given the nature of the performance. Matt Ryan, I think, was Arsenal's man of the match, and maybe that says a lot about Arsenal's performance today, but fair play to him, especially after the way he conceded that goal without even having touched the ball. I mean, he must have been sitting there thinking, my God, what have I done to deserve this? But he came back really, really well and made some sharp saves, as I said, in the second half, and had it not been for him, Arsenal could have found themselves losing this game by a lot more than just 1 goal. So I'm going to give Matt Ryan an 8. I thought he played really, really well, made some good saves. Cedric at left back, a difficult day for him, awful mistake from him to give Aston Villa their goal inside 2 minutes. Dreadful pass to Gabriel, totally underhit. Traore seized on it, he passed to Watkins, and Watkins scored, albeit via a deflection off Rob Holding. So a difficult afternoon for Cedric. Suarez didn't really do anything going forward either, so he gets a 4 from me. Gabriel, I thought, looked pretty shaky in the first half, grew into the game a little bit more in the second half, made a couple of good blocks, but he's still playing his way back into form, I think. So Gabriel gets a 5 from me. Rob Holding, I'm going to give a 6. I thought he just slightly ahead of Gabriel in terms of his performance today. Did a bit going forward as well, Rob Holding. Tried at times to drive the team forward. So I'm going to give Rob Holding a 6. Hector, I thought, was poor. I was frustrated by Hector, shouting at the TV at times at him, just making a wrong option in the final third when he got forward and wasting possession, giving it away. Disappointing, I thought, Hector Bellerin. So he gets a 4 as well. Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey have been so good so far in the last, well, certainly this year, but they've been playing together. I thought they both struggled a little bit today. Thomas Partey's passing was pretty off. And he went off injured. It looked like an injury again. We'll have to wait and see what Mikel Arteta has to say about that. But he certainly limped off in the second half, which is a worry again if he can't seem to shake off these injury problems since he signed. So Partey, I'm going to give a 5. Granit Xhaka, I'm going to give a 5 as well. Got himself a yellow card, Granit Xhaka, for a very tactical foul late on as Aston Villa tried to break. Nicolas Pepe was a big opportunity for Pepe. He started deservedly, kept his place in the starting 11, but didn't really do it today. Pepe, a really frustrating moment right towards the end when he was played in by a lovely pass by Odegaard, and it's just really heavy touch with his right foot that allowed Mings to get back and clear. So Pepe, he gets a 5 from me. Smith Rowe didn't stop working throughout, had one good moment where he cut inside, he thought he was going to score, but Mings, who was excellent for Villa, made a good block. But he didn't stop working, Smith Rowe. I'm going to give Smith Rowe a 6. Saka, I'm going to give a 6 as well. You always felt if Arsenal were going to get something today, if anything was going to happen, it was going to be through Saka. Always bright and lively. He gets a 6. Lacazette, not really in the game at all for me. Laka didn't really threaten Villa, so he's going to get a 5 for me. In terms of the substitutes today, Arsenal brought on Odegaard, who looked quite bright, I thought. Odegaard, one great ball. He gets a 6 for me. Willian did nothing when he came on. He gets a 4, and Aubameyang not really in the game either, so he gets a 4 as well. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching, everyone. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll speak to you soon.